Hey YouTube, this is Steve from Average Joe's Fantasy Football, and we've got your waiver wire video for Week 13 of the NFL season. Now, there are no teams on a bye with the Thanksgiving week because there are 3 games on Thanksgiving, 1 on Black Friday itself, and then of course we got the Sunday and Monday slate of games. So again, everybody is able to play unless they are injured, and hopefully this waiver wire video helps you out, so let's jump right into it. So week 12 of the NFL season is ended, which means you're only about 2 or 3 weeks before the fantasy playoffs start. So every game is important. Hopefully you guys came out victorious. Now we are jumping into week 13 and we are talking waivers. Now the first position I want to talk about is going to be the quarterback position. Now I've mentioned this player before if you watched any of my other waiver wire videos, but I'm going to mention him again. Jacoby Brissett should be a player you should consider grabbing. He's available in 39% of leagues, which means people are picking him up and actually seeing how well he is doing. Right now, in the last 4 weeks alone, Brissett has been quarterback 4 in fantasy. He's been playing out of his mind, which has been great. He is putting up a good amount of numbers, and he's got a great matchup this week going against the Bucs, who have just been miserable. They've not played really well. They've got a lot of injuries. The Bucs are kind of going in the downward trend and could possibly end up losing their division if things keep going the way they're going. Luckily, they play the Panthers and the Falcons and Saints, and they're not great as well, so they might squeak in. But with that said, Brissett has been great. Kyler Murray is still out. Brissett has had a great connection with Michael Wilson. We'll see if Marvin Harrison Jr. plays this week. Even if he does, I still think it's a great play for Brissett. Since week 7, week 6, he's been averaging just about 20 fantasy points a game, which has been fantastic. I mean, he's passing 400 yards here, 300 yards there. And again, he's not making a lot of mistakes. He's only thrown 3 interceptions this season on 11 touchdowns, so he's been really, really good. Another quarterback I want to mention is going to be Tyrod Taylor if you're desperate. Now, you probably have your quarterback here, so you may not need to pick him up, but I wanted to mention him because he did have a good game. You know, this is not something that I'm proud of, but I had Tyrod Taylor in a really deep league and I needed him, and he actually played really, really well. He put up 12 points, which was enough for me to win that week. Now, again, the reason I want to mention him is the matchup. The matchup this week is against the Falcons, and the Falcons have struggled. Defensively, they're not playing great. Now, again, if you're in deeper leagues, this is where Tyrod Taylor makes sense. He's available in 97% of leagues. No surprise there. But I wanted to mention him here because, again, he has a great matchup, and I do think he's going to improve just because now he is the starter. I mean, the 1 week he was really prepared. He had 16 points against the Bucs. Again, the Bucs aren't great defensively, but again, the matchup is good for him against the Falcons. I think if you're in a desperate move, maybe you're in a super flex or a deep league, Tyrod Taylor should be mentioned. Now, jumping into the running back position, it's going to be more like handcuff players I want to mention, except for one guy. Now, the first player I'm going to mention is Kenneth Gainwell. Gainwell, I mentioned before. Again, even with sharing the ball with Jaylen Warren, he still had a really good game. Gainwell right now is running back 13 in the last 4 weeks. He put up 18 fantasy points against Chicago. He had 10 carries, 90 yards, and then a big thing, which is where his value is, his 6 receptions in the air. That is where you have the value for Gainwell. He is not going to be the biggest runner. Now, he did have a great game, don't get me wrong, and then they really do have a good matchup against the Bills because the Bills have been terrible against the run. So I do like Gainwell as a nice little handcuff or maybe a flex play if you want to put him, because Jaylen Warren was still there and he still had some value. Jaylen Warren still had a decent game. Not as good as Gainwell, so I will give him that. And again, the receptions is where the benefit is. If Buffalo is up big, Gainwell has the ability to have a really good game. Now, again, you're taking some risk in there. There's a chance that they may not use him as much, but the way the trends are going, whether it was Aaron Rodgers in or Mason Rudolph, Gainwell still has a lot of value. Another running back is going to be Emmanuel Wilson for the Packers. Now, this one's different just because you don't know how long Josh Jacobs is out. Josh Jacobs did not play, which was unfortunate for those owners if you were not able to pick up Wilson. But with Wilson playing, Wilson was dominant. He had a great game, put up 26 fantasy points, over 100 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 receptions. He showed really, really well in this one. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Jacobs. I just think that they really put the focus on running the ball because Jordan Love did not play well. And I think right now, realistically, the Packers, if they want to have success, I hate to say it, you got to take the ball away from Jordan Love and give it into the running back's hands. whether it be Josh Jacobs or Emmanuel Wilson. Now, Emmanuel Wilson is obviously available in a lot less leagues, only 34%, but I wanted to mention him if you're either a Josh Jacobs owner or if you just need someone to possibly grab if Wilson does end up playing, has a really good start, especially against the Lions, who are iffy. They've been okay against the running back position, but they do allow some games there. So now the last running back is going to be a player that is coming off of IR that should remain the RB1 going forward, which is Trey Benson for the Cardinals. Now, it has not been officially announced. He is expected to come back this week. If he does, great matchup against the Bucs. Trey Benson still is available in 36% of leagues for those who did not put him on IR. Now, obviously, smart league owners put him on IR. He's not available. But if he is out there, you do want to grab Trey Benson because he ends up being the RB1 going forward. Now, do I see them still splitting it up with Bam Knight, maybe sprinkle in a little Michael Carter? Absolutely, but Trey Benson is definitely worth a grab if he's available. Now, jumping into the wide receiver position, I've got Jacoby Myers versus the Titans this week. He's available in 30% of leagues. Jacoby Myers is starting to develop a little bit of a rapport with Trevor Lawrence, which is great news because Jacoby Myers has the ability to be a solid wide receiver too in most fantasy leagues. He has that type of ability. Now, he's coming off a 15 fantasy point performance. He had 4 receptions, 50 yards, and a touchdown. Now, again, this is going to get better. I do think it's going to improve, which is why I think Myers is definitely worth a grab, especially in deeper leagues, or maybe you want to put him as a flex player. Nothing beyond that as of right now. Great matchup against the Titans this week, which is why you want to consider grabbing him. Now, another receiver is Jaden Higgins. Man, has he been playing great for the Texans. Higgins right now, going into the last 4 weeks, okay? Now, this is the trend. He has been playing out of his mind. Right now, I would love to see him do a little bit more, but he's been playing really good. He had a 13-point performance. He had a 15-point performance before. He's getting more and more targets. In the last 3 weeks, he's been averaging about 8 targets a game, which is great, and 2 touchdowns. Fantastic. I'd love to see more out of Davis Mills because right now CJ Stroud is still in the concussion protocol. We'll see if he improves. But right now, expect Davis Mills to be the quarterback, where I still think Jaden Higgins is a solid flex play going forward. He is available in a good amount of leagues, 78%, because I think a lot of people are unsure what to do with him. But I do like him. He's improving. He's a nice, solid rookie. I think he's going to have a great career going forward if things improve. But I really like him there. Another receiver I like is Christian Watson for the Packers. Yeah, he's actually healthy still. Shockingly, he is wide receiver 20 right now in the last 4 weeks. He's been playing really good. Going against the Lions this week, he's available in 52% of leagues. Now, he didn't have a great performance in week 12. He only had 9.9 points. He had a few receptions, but his targets are starting to increase, which is great news. And again, the week before, he had 2 touchdowns, which helped him put a 20-point performance. He is their big play guy. Now, Jordan Love has not played well. The Packers offense is looking very stagnant. The running game is great, but that's about it. So there is some caution with this. Watson is definitely going to be relying on the big play. He's only going to get about 5 targets a game. So again, flex play is probably the way to go with him. But if you wanted to pick up a wide receiver, if you need one based off of injuries or whatever the case may be, he is a solid one. And the last wide receiver is going to be Troy Franklin for the Denver Broncos. I've mentioned him about 2 or 3 times on these waiver wire videos. If you watched them, he's available in 44% of leagues and has a fantastic matchup against the Commanders. Now, obviously, Franklin has not played last week because of the bye, but Troy Franklin was on a little heater. He was getting 10 targets, 8 targets, 10 targets, 9 targets, 8 targets. Like, his target share has been amazing. And realistically, he's being Bo Nix's favorite receiver at this particular time, which makes total sense to me. I know Courtland Sutton's there, and Courtland Sutton is going to get a lot of the attention, but Troy Franklin is taking advantage of it, and he's been doing really, really well. He's had 26-point performances, 15-point performances, 12-point performances. So the improvement is there. He's still going to get plenty of targets. He is a fantastic flex low-end wide receiver 2 going forward. He absolutely should be in your lineups. Now, jumping into the tight end position, I've got Brenton Strange. He's coming back from injury, which is great news. He had played well before getting injured, but he's back this last week, and then he's going forward. Great matchup this week going against the Titans. Again, he's available in 87% of leagues, so if you're desperate for a tight end, because realistically, the big-name tight ends are not playing well or they're hurt. So, again, Brenton Strange is definitely worth a possible pickup. Theo Johnson's another guy I really like too. Theo Johnson going in the last 4 weeks has been tight end 9, and yet he's available in about 41% of leagues. People are afraid to pick him up because of the name, because the offense is obviously wishy-washy, right? The Giants have been able to put up points, especially with Jameis Winston, but you still got Jackson Dart, who's played really well as well. Now, he should be back this week from the concussion. Nothing's been announced officially, but he should be back, which I still believe Theo Johnson does take advantage of that and has a decent amount of points. Again, you're not expecting high points, but he's getting about 11 to 10 points, 14 points here. He's getting enough targets to have, a threat every single week. So again, he is a good tight end to pick up this week. And the last tight end I want to mention is going to be our lovely Colston Loveland. He's starting to emerge in this offense, right? He's right now tight end 4 in the last 4 weeks. And part of that, it was obviously he had a really big game coming out of, week 9, I think it was. He had 29 fantasy points. So obviously that helped boost. But week 12, last week, he put up about 15 points. He had a touchdown, 4 receptions, so really good game. I do think he's starting to develop more into this Bears offense, going against the Eagles this week, which is a little bit tougher, right? It's a little bit tougher, but I still think Loveland being available in about 57% of leagues should be worth a grab. Now, as far as the kickers, I've got Evan McPherson. Totally makes sense with Joe Burrow coming back. Going against the Ravens this Thanksgiving night, which is great. McPherson's available in 62% of leagues. Having an offense that has the potential of putting up points, they are going to be missing Higgins, but I still think with Joe Burrow back, we'll get them opportunities to get down the field. And McPherson's a really good kicker. He's going to get plenty of points. And the last kicker I want to mention is Kaimi Fairbairn. Obviously, he's back from his injury. He's available in 47% of leagues, and he has been fantastic. And again, the Texans have not been a team that's scoring a lot, but enough to get down the field to put up points, which has been great. So again, he's a really good kicker. Now, jumping into the defensive side, special teams. Again, if you're playing in that type of format, the one defense I really like is going to be the Rams. They're available in 41% of leagues. They're going against the Panthers. The 49ers were able to get quite a few turnovers against them. So again, the matchup's really good. The Rams have been defensive special teams 4 in the last 4 weeks. They've been playing really good. And then the Jaguars, I want to mention them again. I've mentioned them before. They're available in 58% of leagues, and their defensive special teams 9 going into the last 4 weeks. They're going against the Titans, who have not played well. Jaguars have been playing consistent where they're getting sacks, deflections, and a turnover here or there, but they're doing really well as a whole. So I really like them there. So those are my week 13 waiver wire pickups you should consider grabbing. Again, if you guys haven't already, check out my other waiver wire videos as well. And just in case, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys are subscribed, hit that like button. I'll check you guys out next time.